Good evening, everybody. It is a motivating Monday, and we are here to motivate you to watch our podcast and join us for the recap of Married to Medicine Part 1 Reunion. Good evening, Auntie Diva. How you doing?
How you doing? Not motivating Monday.
People to check us out, okay? See
us,
with us, do what we do. Watch us as we watch ourselves and as we watch the show unfold. Diva, this has been an amazing reunion so far. I'm here for it all, okay? The fights, the fussing, the arguing, and the standing on business. Because Diva, if you don't do right by me, I got to reflect you and your character and see where we stand going forward. I said, Jackie better go off. I said, Simone better go off. Tell these people, Simone, we got to reorganize and readjust because we will not have people in our circle doing us dirty, standing for lies and foolishness and deceit.
Oh, come on, Emmanuel. Team left couch. I like that. You said that.
Yes.
Team left couch.
Yes.
I'm going to use that, Emmanuel.
And don't forget Brandy, because Brandy was standing on business too. She said, don't speak under your breath. Say it out loud.
We're going to talk about Brandy, but I will definitely say team left couch.
Yes.
Yes, Simone stood on business. You better ask somebody.
Yes.
She said never.
Never. And don't ask again.
No, what Andy asked you was. Not you telling us what Andy said.
Listen, Jackie did not do what she was supposed to do as a friend. You didn't stand on business. You allowed Heavenly to lie through this whole time, knowing that she did not push Heavenly. She did not pull Heavenly. She didn't push Heavenly. She removed her hand off of. And what else are you supposed to do when somebody else has their hands wrapped around you? Remove their hand off of you and you walk away. I don't understand, Diva. I don't understand.
And she was still sitting there lying on the couch.
Yeah. Listen, but good evening, everybody. We are here. We are live on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray-Haired Diva and Royaire's World, to recap the latest episode of Married to Medicine, episode 15, season 12, reunion part 1. Okay? This reunion has been explosive from beginning to end. Everybody has seen the trailers. And in my personal opinion, Diva, I think they showed too much of the trailer for this reunion. They played too many parts. Like, let us be surprised. Give us a little something to look forward to. Like, don't tell it all. And I feel like they kind of told a lot in the trailers, this season. Sorry, y'all, I'm adjusting. Told a lot in the trailer this season. But, I'm here for it all. It has been a great, part 1 so far. And I definitely think they needed just a 2-part, session. Because like, as we have said, not a lot went on this season, but just enough went on to carry us into a part 2 to see how that unfolds.
I was here for it.
Here for it all. Well, listen, everybody, we are going to jump into our street news moment. As you always know, we got a little street news topic for you, so let's jump right into that.
Come on, the street news.
Okay, so I normally do not do things of this nature because it is against my religion, okay? It is against my first family, but we got to talk about it, okay? Because it's been everywhere. It's been all over the place. This is what the people talk about, Diva. You have brought it to my attention. And so we actually now have a news reporter who speaks about the paperwork that the health inspector did issue to Miss Tina's gumbo stop down at the rodeo, okay? So I'm going to play this. Let me get the sound going. I don't know why I keep playing without me hitting play, but let's listen.
Seafood labeled keep frozen and gumbo that inspectors say was stored in a freezer at an unlicensed off-site location. That's what's in these records that we obtained about the temporary shutdown of Mama Tina's gumbo at the Houston rodeo. According to the complaint, the customer ate gumbo in the afternoon and later reported vomiting, chills, nausea, and fever. She even said she was throwing up blood. Health department records say inspectors learned the gumbo was cooled, put into buckets, then taken off-site to be frozen before coming back to the rodeo site to thaw for service without any documentation showing safe cooling and storage times. Thawed seafood labeled keep frozen and gumbo that inspectors say was stored in a freezer at an unlicensed off-site location. That's what's in these records that we obtained. Inspectors also wrote they observed shrimp and crab labeled keep frozen that were no longer frozen. Any of the food that wasn't frozen had to be discarded. The records say operators were cooperative and inspectors returned March 17th for a pre-opening check. The report says they swapped from a refrigerator trailer to a freezer trailer. Food was frozen solid and gumbo would be made on site daily. We haven't been told if the health department received any other complaints of people feeling sick after eating the gumbo. Inspectors also wrote they observed shrimp and crab labeled keep frozen that were no longer frozen. Any of the food that wasn't frozen had to be discarded. The records say operators were cooperative and inspectors.
I think the people are being a bit dramatic. Like, child.
Come on, Will.
Throwing up blood, really? Like, stop it. Just
Oh my God, my stomach hurt. Listen, don't do that. Oh, cause it's Tina. They could be possibly throwing up the blood.
I mean, you got a little seafood poisoning. Calm down, like. In the words of Blue, calm down.
Oh my God, not going to the bathroom, vomiting and throwing up blood because they wasn't properly storing the food and unthawing it.
Child, it ain't like the people had a colostomy bag. Jeez,
Listen, let me tell you something. When you dealing with food, that's why, and I ain't gonna lie to you, say I ain't never eat from no food truck. That would be a whole lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: you gotta watch what you getting from the food truck. Me too. Y'all games. Not vomiting up blood.
Child.
We got too many meats in there, Royaire. Shrimp, crab meat, chicken.
I thought that's normal for a gumbo, a seafood gumbo.
But you know what, though? Let me tell you this. If it's normal for a gumbo, it's gumbo you should be getting in a restaurant. Not no shrimp, crab meat, steak, chicken, beef, pork, oxtails, all of that in the gumbo. Listen, and you just got a truck, a food truck, and then you had to transfer the truck and make it a freezer truck. That's something that needs to be at a restaurant. Y'all doing too much. Now the truck got a freezer component, a refrigerator, and then they said they was gonna make the gumbo fresh now at the stand.
Yeah, that should have been a thing already.
No, that's too much. Too much.
This just sounds like really bad planning.
Hello. I'm vomiting up blood. Hello. Like,
I need to know what that individual was doing before they had Miss Tina gumbo, because
that gumbo had them in
how
the
you just start vomiting up blood right after you ate it? Like the food.
But that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. No, that person was in the ICU. You in the ICU with some gumbo?
Child. The people doing too much. They doing too much. I know.
Let's be clear, Royaire. Why is Miss Tina Knowles? Why does she have a gumbo stand?
Well, according to her book, she is a great gumbo cook. Like, she does great gumbo. That's one of the family favorites, and she's been trying to pass it down to the girls, but the girls don't want to learn how to cook. So she's trying to pass it down for the world. You
know what, Royaire? Now her family has money. Okay, Jay-Z and Beyonce has money, but you know what? The reason why I laid off the nose is because of you.
And we appreciate it. We thank you for your service. We thank you for your reasonable service.
Because you know what? There's something I know about the nose.
Okay.
And I'm going to shut up.
You out there? Come on, you big and bad. Listen, I let you be quiet on EJ, but we're not going to be quiet on the nose. Let it be.
So let me say this. They have some money, and why don't they just pay for her to get a cooking show on the Netflix, and that way she won't be killing nobody with the vomited blood, the vomited blood and all of that. Because let me tell you something, the family, they need some money. That's why she out there with that truck. Mm. And that's why your girl Beyonce did a tour right after tour. And go on. This is about the gumbo. This is about the gumbo.
Yes, stay focused.
Focus. You know what? This gumbo was poison.
Oh. Not a scheme that Miss Tina set up to come to us with the bush.
So Royaire, are we going to go to Houston? You going to get the gumbo? You going to eat the gumbo?
I mean, I'm open to that. Listen, if Miss Tina is here making it personally herself, yes.
You ain't eat that gumbo.
If Miss Tina is making it personally herself, yes. I'm pulling up to the table and me and Miss Tina can have a beautiful lunch and we can sit and chit chat. We ain't even gotta talk about Beyonce. We could talk about you, Miss Tina. Listen, I'm always down for a nice little lunch and a chit chat, baby. Mwah. Love you, Miss Tina.
No, I'm gonna wave to her and keep moving. You know what? And matter of fact, I ain't buy nothing from the 3 trucks to the right and the left for her.
Not you punishing everybody in the vicinity.
I'm gonna go get some water and popcorn and keep it pushing. Nobody eating that gumbo.
Listen. Apparently the truck opened back up the next day. So apparently they got things together within the day. But I did hear that business was slow after that. So I'm not exactly sure how long the rodeo stays around down there in Texas. You know, I know that is kind of like a summer thing long for them. So I don't know if it's going to be around for the summer. Maybe business will pop back up again. Or maybe, Miss Tina, you just need to let this venture go. I mean, you've done a great job with the hair, with the designing of the clothes, you know, being Beyonce's mom, you know, and Solange's mother, sorry. You've done a great job overall. You know, the marriages didn't work out so well. Cooking, maybe like the marriages, not working out so well. But we appreciate you extending your family's gumbo to us. And, you know, if you want to make me a personal plate, Miss Tina, I'm here for it. But, you know, at the rodeo, down where all of the other people, I mean, it's just not natural for me to eat at food truck. Now, Diva, I can honestly say, I don't think I've ever ate at a food truck before. I don't think I ever have.
And you going to try Miss Nose for the first time?
I said that we have to be.
Ain't built like that.
He has to make it. It's got to be at her house. Or at, you know. I don't even know why I tried to do this with you.
Your sister said she went to the rodeo. She didn't get the gumbo, but her sister did. Your sister's stomach is made of steel. That gumbo was contaminated. Period.
I'm so done. We are done with Miss Tina. Goodbye, Miss Tina. Thank you for your event today. But listen, best wishes to all of those who unfortunately got sick during that event, you know.
Not best wishes. Oh my God.
What am I supposed to say? I want to wish them well. wish you well, and we hope that you get better. If the one that had the blood throwing up, you might want to go, get that checked out a little bit further.
No, she did. She had a blood transfusion.
See, done with it. Not a transfusion.
Oh God.
No, say you're doing too much without saying you're doing too much. Okay, too much. But yes, shout out to those that unfortunately got sick. Hopefully you do better. And Miss Tina, maybe next time we should do an indoor space, someone that's already established, that has a full setup. We can't do grandness on a low budget because we are so grand. When you try to do things on a low budget, it just don't work out. So we got to stay elevated, just like Candy. She always rises above and does better. Miss Tina, we just got to rise above. And for those who can try, can, and those who can't. It is what
we're gonna move on, Royaire, but she has a cookbook.
Really?
No, I'm asking you, does she?
Oh, I don't know.
Listen, is she sell popcorn at the next rodeo?
Come on, Miss Tina, special seasoning popcorn. We got your next idea, Miss Tina, popcorn. Look, it's really neat, fun to make and fun to eat.
Butter, garlic and herb popcorn.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. I'm replaying games. Go ahead.
Okay, people, we are here to recap Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 15, part 1, reunion, entitled Uncensored. And so we're going to jump right into this. So we open up this episode with the ladies arriving, as we do with every reunion. The individuals arrive separately or together. So we opened up with Brandy arriving first in the episode. She's outside waiting on Simone. Simone says, "Hey girl, you ready?" She said, "Yes, I'm ready. Are you?" She said, "I'm ready for the girls to tell the truth. Okay? Tell the truth." Brandy says she's here to tell the truth. So she's good.
Oh, Royaire froze. Did he freeze for y'all too? Or is it me that's frozen? Did Royaire freeze on me, y'all? No, he froze. Thank you, Paige. Thank you, Paige. Royaire, you got to go out and come back in. I'm going to text him, y'all. Uh-oh, there he fell out. Maybe he realized that he's going to come back in. But yeah, in the meantime, people, hit the like button. Y'all know the routine. He's coming back in.
Okay, we back?
Yes, you're back. Uh-huh.
Sorry, everybody. I don't know what happened, but we're back.
No worries.
Okay. So we have Quad and Angel, they're coming in together. And it's just like I felt about Angel all season. She's just like a little puppy dog following behind Quad. And that is exactly what she looked like, a little puppy following behind Quad in their little fur jackets. We have a moment with Simone. She feels some type of way. She's talking to her hairstylist. She's feeling some type of way, in regards to Jackie.
Wait, I got to add this before you go on, Royaire. You forgot Contessa arrived with her white fur coat on, right? Quad and Angel had on their fur coats. What's her name? Brandy had on this outer space red jacket with the. It was disgusting. It was terrible. Okay. Yeah. And Toya said, "See you later." Let me just say this: I'm calling Peter on the ladies.
Maybe it's fake. It could be fake. It could be faux fur. Can't you wear the faux fur?
Well, that was fur fur. That was fur fur.
Okay.
That looked like fur fur.
Oh.
And yeah, and Angel was tagging behind Quad like a little puppy.
Okay.
Yes. But I thought, but Angel, can somebody tell her to do it? See, that's why I told you. Her stylist gets an F because I'm sure her stylist sent her in that red coat inside to the thing.
Oh, Brandy's, yeah.
Oh, Brandy, yeah, that was horrible. What was that?
It was. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't either.
But we have a moment in the dressing room with Jackie. Jackie is with Simone. Simone is, speaking to her hairstylist, and she's feeling some type of way because she felt that when Jackie went on Watch What Happens Live, she stayed neutral in the situation. She did not speak up on behalf of Simone, not actually physically putting her hands on Heavenly. We have a conversation with Quad, who is in Jackie's room while Jackie is getting ready. And so she says, Jackie, I see you're in a cumbersome situation. And so Jackie said, I've been here before. It's like surgery. I'll get through it. I said, this is disgusting. You can tell that Jackie don't even really honestly care about how Simone is truly feeling regarding the situation. You only are being held by your foot to the fire because the audience is holding you to that fire, as well as Andy, in my opinion, because we didn't have a moment, or I'll get to that in just a moment. We have a moment with Heavenly and Mimi. They're speaking in Heavenly's dressing room. And so Heavenly says, to Mimi that Jackie is just as hurt as Simone is. Simone unfollowed Jackie on social media. She also said that Jackie chose to take sides with the devil. And Heavenly feels that Simone is doing the most. And then we have a moment, and this is where it really stands out for me, Diva, because if you can get Andy to say that you've done something wrong, there's a problem. There's a major issue. Andy says, normally it's normal that you and Simone share a room together. You guys are not together. And Jackie says she was very sad. I wish her face would tell it, because I don't see sadness on Jackie's face at all. I don't see it there. Andy spoke about, the Watch What Happens Live episode in the moment, where he asked Simone in regards to, are you frozen? Okay, y'all, we are having some issues tonight. Not my girl Frozen. Okay, bear with us for just a moment, everybody. Let me tell her to go out and come back in. Okay, here we go.
Child.
Listen, I don't know what's going on tonight.
Neither.
Okay, we're back though. We're here. You good? Am I good? You good?
I'm good. I hope so. Yeah, I think we good.
Okay. So, see, this is why we're talking about Beyonce on her good internet.
Child, Miss Tina coming for me.
Miss Tina, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have done this. I went against my own rules, so my apologies.
The gumbo was still a hot stinking mess.
Oh my God.
Period.
Listen, Miss Tina, don't shut my channel down. We good. But so Andy, says he believes that the moment where the fallout happened with Simone and Jackie was on Watch What Happens Live, the night that Andy asked, in regards to the situation, what actually happened. And Jackie, she, in my opinion, took the side of Heavenly. You stood 10 toes down in regards to what Heavenly was saying, oh, well, I wasn't there. Then you say, Andy says, well, you seen the footage, what do you think about it? For you to still play like you don't know what happened, it ruined the friendship with you and Jackie. And so that's where we are now. But Jackie claims, she wants to get things back together with her and Simone, and she should have stuck up for her friend in the moment, and she didn't. And, she's going to apologize tonight for that or whatever. So Simone, she is, Andy wants to help bring the situation back together. And so Simone says, listen, I know you were a part of helping to bring back the divorce, bring us back from the divorce, But I don't think we're going to be able to come back from this. You know, it is what it is at this point in time, unless Jackie can pretty much apologize. So, at that point, that was the whole beginning of the first scene before the ladies came out. Diva, anything on that? I know you talked about the ladies' looks already. Anything on the conversations?
Well, you know what? Where Andy loves somebody, he loves somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves Simone.
Yes.
Because he said, Simone, you were here by yourself. I can't deal with this. I'm used to seeing you and Jackie together. Okay? And Simone was like, well, what? And Simone, you could tell, is hurting because she crying.
Yeah.
He go to Jackie and he let Jackie know, you messed up. He said, I asked you on Watch What Happens Live. And he said, you saw the footage. And you still ain't say nothing to back up your girl.
Yeah.
He said, she's hurt. And I hope we can fix this.
Yeah.
And Jackie talking about, yeah, I hope so. Now listen, when Quad came to Jackie room, it was who it was. We seen the true Jackie before. And I see who Jackie is. And you know what, Royaire? I believe her. Yeah, Jackie didn't drop a tear. This your friend for 30 plus years. And when Andy talks about, you want to come up on the soon, that the wedge is Dr. Heavenly, and he said that in Dr. Heavenly's face. I was here for it, okay? Mimi and Heavenly talking. You could tell on the couch that Mimi wasn't feeling Dr. Heavenly's drama. But she also got us have an alliance. Okay? Because like Emmanuel said, to the left. I'm with everybody on the couch to the left. The right side can do whatever. Okay? Simone told Andy it is what it is. And I will say this before you go on. I like the couch setup. To the left is Toya, Simone, Contessa, and then soon Brandy. To the right is Quad, Jackie, Heavenly, Mimi, and then comes Angel. And Andy said something about high fashion, high pressure, but you won't get to that. So Jackie and Simone did not share a room. She said she needed Jackie to deliver, and she didn't. But you could continue.
Yes. So, yeah, pretty much the opening scenes. I agree with everything you said, Diva. In my opinion, I don't see Jackie showing any kind of real remorse. You're saying these things, but I don't have any feeling behind it, no emotion behind it. It's giving a lot like how you did Buffy when Buffy told you that you did her wrong. Yeah. And you, if I did you wrong. It's amazing how people can do a if apology when it's convenient for them. But when Curtis had to apologize to Quad and King, there was no if, we offended. Girl. Stop. Cut the BS.
He's so full of it.
Full of it. So we open up the reunion. Of course, Andy welcomes all the ladies to part 1 reunion of Married to Medicine. He says that the Med Gala scene is in honor of the stage, is in honor of the Met Gala, the event that the charity event that the celebrities host once a year. He goes around and welcomes all the ladies, and all that. Andy, he said that he was shocked to see that Jackie and Simone were not sharing a room this year. And Simone feels that, Jackie didn't show up for her. And that's kind of where they stand right now. We get into our opening package first, which is with Toya. We open up with Toya in regards to her new house, her relationship issues, the couples trip that she hosted, and the Med Gala that she put together. Toya was first questioned in regards to she's still living in the home that her and Eugene built. She said, yes, she is still there. Okay. I said, Andy, wow, what a way to start.
Messy boo. so incredibly messy.
I was like, what the heck? Andy asked, Heavenly, is this Toya and Eugene's forever home? Which, in my opinion, why did Heavenly need to answer that question? This is Toya's home and Eugene's home. We didn't need that. But, of course, Heavenly had a smart answer talking about Toya will sell the house in a few years and she'll move into a condo by herself. And so Quad said, Heavenly. And so Heavenly said, ooh, did I say that out loud? I mean, she's going to sell the house and make money off of it and move into a condo with her and her husband. The foolery of it all. You can't even come. We at the very beginning of the reunion. You can't even talk like you got a little bit of sense just at the start of it. But what more can we expect from someone who's running for state representative? When asked in regards to how she talked to Eugene, there were a lot of questions from viewers regarding her talking to Eugene in the manner that she does, how she treats Eugene and their relationship. Toya feels that a lot of the people are projecting, including the ladies on the other side of the couch, onto their marriage. She said every marriage and every couple fusses, fights, and argues, just like, everybody else in the world. And that other people just choose not to show that part of their relationship. But Toya pretty much shows all of her authentic real life on this show. So this is what we see, and this is what we get. Simone was asked, does she stand by her comment in regards to Toya skip work day, saying that Toya skips work every day. She lives a life at home of lavish and luxury. Simone says she stands on it. Toya has a beautiful home. She keeps it immaculate, and nobody can come over there and say that she needs to pressure wash her house. When I heard that, Diva, I fell out because my favorite read from Mariah Hux is that you are going to, what she say? You need to pressure wash this house. We all going to be contaminated up in this place. I said, come on, contamination.
Yeah, when she said pressure wash the house, I died.
Hilarious. Toya feels that a lot of the ladies in the group deflect from their issues so that they don't have to talk about what's going on at home. She said, but one thing you can stand on for sure is that there is no talks of cheating in her relationship. And there are no rumors of her children having issues at home, work, school, or any other place, okay? So the ladies need to focus on what they have going on before she opens up the book and tell all of their business. Now, how about that? Heavenly said that there's an untold story in regards to Toya's marriage too, and the reason why Eugene was fired from his last job and what he be doing at the hospitals, okay? Quad said, well, listen, if we were going to stay off of people's relationship, we're going to stay out of the whole relationship. And so this is the ladies kind of going back and forth with each other. Jackie says that Toya has spoken on her marriage several times, and Jackie has said nothing about Toya in the way that she disrespects Eugene. Toya said that Curtis came to try to talk to Eugene about stuff, and Curtis is the last one that needs to come and talk to Eugene or any other husband about anything, especially after what he's done to Jackie. Toya also feels she acted poorly when it came to how she spoke with Eugene in regards to their fight, because Andy did address, the whole scene in regards to Toya saying Eugene needs to be a man and, get the other men up and, wanting to be a part of the whole game of it all that they were hosting at their home. Toya, she said that she doesn't want to fight with her husband like that, especially in front of people that doesn't support her. She felt that in the moment that she was spiraling out of control, and she really wanted her real girlfriends, if they were real friends and close to her, they would have came and checked on her and secured her and let her know, hey, Toya, in a loving way, this is not how you want to, handle this situation. We might can go about this another way. Some of the ladies did do that for Toya, and she acknowledged those ladies. One of those ladies being Contessa. And I love the way Contessa also took responsibility and said, well, as a group, we should have been more supportive, or we should have just left all together so that they could have handled that situation in their home as a couple. Mimi claims that she never said anything negative about Toya. Andy had to remind her, no, ma'am. In your confessionals, you said that their marriage was cringy and it was chaotic. Those were the words that you used, okay? And so Mimi jolted back because she wasn't ready for Andy to come and check her. She thought she was coming to argue with the cast.
Yo, Andy did the darn thing. He said, oh, actually, you said their marriage was cringy.
Grow in, Andy. Remind the people. Remind them, okay? You know, so Toya says that Mimi was over there judging and gossiping about the fallout and was, you know, and left after, you know, all of the chaos had been done by them. Mimi claims that she's all about marriage. You know, she was the first one to leave. She didn't say anything about Toya. You know, Toya called them a bunch of hating bitches and Toya is projecting on them. You know, she tried to get Toya to talk to Eugene in a better way. And all of this stuff. And granted, Mimi did try to get Toya to talk to Eugene in a better way, but you were judging their relationship as you were still doing all of this. Oh, I would never, and this, and that. Mimi, go back and watch the clips. Pay attention to you, because obviously you focused on everybody else and what they doing. You missing the part that you played in it as well. Andy brings up, you know, Toya talking about, Heavenly talking about Eugene's penis size again. Heavenly said it had nothing to do with Eugene. She was just giving a jab back to Toya. Andy also brings up Jackie, you know, saying that they put Toya in charge of the Med Gala, you know, to teach her a lesson. And Andy wanted to know, what lesson were you trying to teach her? You know, and Jackie said, you know, she was trying to teach her, you know, they knew that Toya could put together a party. That's what she does. She does all of that. But they wanted her to understand how much work goes into it and how you have to work together with other people. You know, Andy did ask, you know, how the ladies felt about the Med Gala, and they gave Toya her props. They said that she did her thing. It turned out to be a great event and that they were proud of Toya. Even Heavenly said that as well. So kudos to them for actually giving Toya the props that she truly deserved. Was it everything that they wanted it to be and how she planned it? You know, was it perfect? No. But y'all were still able to serve two young ladies and help provide them with money to continue their education to become a part of the minority of doctors that we already have a rare number of. So we got to look at the bigger picture and not just the little small stuff. And then we did get a moment when talking about the text messages. One of the lab coats that was given to Toya, she put all the text messages on the inside of the lab coat, okay? I said, this is petty Betty, and I'm here for it, okay? You better have all of the text messages and everything. And so she talked about how hard and difficult it was working with these individual ladies. But I also felt that Toya also took into concept of how hard it has been putting this Med Gala together for the last 3 years. And she understood the importance of her not being as supportive as she could have been. So that was pretty much that first package with Toya and everything that went on. Anything that you'd like to share, feel free.
You know, the Toya package was nice. I thought, though, they was being really messy with the joke about Toya's home. I thought Dr. Heavenly was being very nasty by saying she feels that Toya will be selling her home soon, getting a condo, and, you know, by herself, and then going to say, oops, did I say that? I mean, you know, with her husband or whatever. I think that all of them played too many games with the marriages. And I thought that, you know, Andy asking the question was being very messy, but Heavenly's response was just nasty behavior. And, you know, they all, because I didn't realize Toya says she's about to approach 50. Looks really good.
Amazing. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know
that. Amazing. I didn't know that. So they all look really good. It's just, I'm just like, you know what? Excuse me, the petty games is messy. You know, here's the thing. Let's keep it 100. We don't have cameras following us. There have been some things I said that I wish I didn't say to loved ones, to significant others, to my kids, and thank God it wasn't caught on camera. I think her husband I think Toya, you know, she got a little toasty at her own party. She got a little toasty. And when she got a little toasty, I think Toya, you know, she went too far. And she said she had a breakdown. And I think it was good of Bravo not to show, because she said she went in her closet and had closed her closet door. And then, you know, Quad came to see her, locked herself in, and some other ladies came to see her, whatever. And Mimi tried to sit on that couch and put a spin on the situation. But Mimi, stop it. You know, I wish Mimi would keep it 100.
Yes.
Right. I just, to me, she's phony. She's a fraud. And so, you know, to say, oh, it was cringy. there's a lot of stuff you did that was cringy. That had nothing to do with you arguing with your husband, but it was cringy. So my thing is that she spiraled out, and like she said, you know, she needed people that were behind her to come speak to her to say, you know, come on, Toya, whatever, whatever. And I do agree with Dr. Contessa. Real friends would have been like, you know what? The party's over, everybody go home, and they would have made sure Toya was good and they would have kept it pushing. So I do agree with that. Like I said with Mimi, I just feel like Mimi didn't want to take accountability for nothing. She a whole therapist, but then sometimes she want to be a therapist, and sometimes she want to resolve herself of her therapy duties, right? Oh, I don't mean to psychoanalyze y'all. I didn't mean this. I didn't mean that. Mimi, whatever. Okay. So I just really didn't like that. You know, when Toya said there ain't no cheating, no this, no that in my house, and then Heavenly, I do believe what she said was a whole lie about Dr. Eugene and what he's doing in the hospital. I don't believe Dr. Eugene is doing anything. I really don't. I think he's built for Toya and he loves Toya, and that was it. I think Dr. Hemley just wanted to say something to make it be like, oh my God. But yeah, I didn't believe that. When Simone talked about that house being pressure washed and how she said my husband married me because we was in love, not because I was pregnant. And Dr. Heavenly couldn't say 2 words after that. She talked about my husband is too good to me. Said my husband is good to me too. Because to act as if couples never argue is a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke. And that's the problem. Y'all are on here not showing your authentic lives. And then you get mad when somebody like Toya or Simone, who is showing their authentic lives, calls you out for not showing it. That's problematic. You cannot be mad about that. You can be mad about that.
Yeah. And what Toya and for Toya to sit there and admit, like, I didn't like the way that I behaved at the party. I was out of control. Like, there's things where I said, oh, I know I could have did that better.
I feel like Toya took complete accountability during her package, during her scene. I felt like, you know, she said what needed to be said. She stood on business. A lot of these ladies try to judge and point at Toya and how bad her marriage is and how bad she treats her husband and all of this. Jackie, ain't nobody talking about how you neglecting your husband constantly.
Because it came out of his mouth.
Bad he been cheated on you.
It came out of his mouth. Out of his mouth. You know, Heavenly talking about Eugene's private area. Toya getting so lewd about it and saying, I said, oh God, they're going too far. But I do like the way that all of them gave her flowers in regards to the Med Gala.
Yes.
I will give them that. All of them gave her flowers for that. And so I thought that was good. The lab coat with the group chat, hilarious.
Everything. I fell out.
And that printout was beautiful because I was like,
I said, come through. Clear.
But you know what? Toya know how to spend money and she know how to get top of the line stuff.
Yes.
Because, honey, whoever did that for her, they did the darn thing.
Clock it. They clocked that. I was like, yes. You know, anything else that I felt about that? Jackie trying to throw in Toya's face, you know. You've talked about my marriage too. Heavenly has too. Now what? I ain't heard you check Heavenly about it. Why we sitting up here trying to check Toya about it? Girl, bye. Stop it.
And Curtis is fired up about that. He is in his feelings about that. His underwear is in a bunch over that.
In the words of Mariah, your slip is showing.
That part. You talked about my husband.
Yeah.
Your husband got talked about, baby girl, because he was caught by TMZ in the airport with somebody other than you.
The side chick didn't even air you out. Your own man aired you out.
That part. And he's still golfing and everything else.
Yes. The people was clocked in this beginning, including Andy Diva. I was totally here from him clocking Mimi because, and we'll see this a little bit more in this episode. You know, Mimi loves to throw rocks and hide her hands. She loves to play the victim, like she's just this peacemaker and she wants everything to be cool and dandy. That is not, no. Thank you.
And then she's going to weave everything back into the fact that she's taking care of a special needs child.
Bye. So that was that first moment. Anything else on that? All righty. We'll jump into our second package, which was Miss Quad. She does not have it. Okay. In this second package, we see King and Quad's relationship continuing to unfold from season 11. We see her IVF process. We see her failing embryos that unfortunately did not happen. And then we see the breakup of King and Quad kind of at the end of this season, or at least the separation of it all. We can tell in that last episode at the Med Gala, you know, Quad went up to ask him to dance, and he said he didn't want to dance. He didn't feel like dancing. AKA, the relationship is over. Love don't live here anymore. So, you know, Quad, Andy does ask Quad in regards to her relationship. Quad did confirm that her and King are no longer together. It was a mutual decision for them to split. And so she did make that a big emphasis on that, in my opinion, on them having a mutual decision to split. She shares that the breakup, was mutual. Going towards the end of last year, things were just not going well for them. They tried to get back on good footing, but they just could not. So they decided to go their separate ways. Andy asked, has anyone been in touch with King since then? Contessa said, or Contessa made a statement asking, did Quad want him not to come to the reunion? And so Toya says yes. And so Quad says, well, who said that? I never said anything about him not coming, coming or not coming. And so Quad said, you guys are talking to my ex. And so Toya did say, well, King looked out for Ashton for his birthday. He got him a rented car for his birthday that he was able to drive. And him and Eugene have become really good friends. And Toya said that King wanted to be there, and he felt that there was more to the story that needed to be told outside of Quad's point of view. The audience feels that King and Quad were an awkward couple. And so they feel that Heavenly pretty much said that, it was a storyline, that King was Quad's storyline, And so Quad had to explain she doesn't do storylines, okay? She does not have the time to be making up and stressing out about storylines and making up stuff that happened in her life. She said King chose her and she chose King. There was no pow to nobody's head. They decided to come together. Things didn't work out in the relationship and they move on. She said, furthermore, why would I spend all of this money for my IVF process to just make this out of a storyline? And so Andy did back her up and say he doesn't think anybody on TV or off TV, is faking this type of issue. This is the real deal thing. And so, that was kind of that on that conversation. Jackie shares how fertility, can damage and destroy a relationship. She's very full aware of that. Simone had a little question for Quad in regards to her and King's relationship. And so she wanted to know if y'all couldn't decide whether or not to move into each other's homes, which house to move into, if y'all couldn't decide, who was going to do what type of parenting and all of these things, when y'all were going to get married, why would you decide to have a baby with this individual? And so Quad said, because he's a great co-parent. He has a daughter right now. He does not live with the mom. They are not in relationship. And he is a great co-parent with her. Contessa says it didn't seem like that he was as interested in the parenting journey as Quad was. And it came off a little awkward on TV. And you kind of want at least the parent of your child to be just as into you or into the child as, you're into them. Quad said it was a mutual decision. They both decided to do this, the two of them together, and it just didn't work out. And Quad is considering other options, and we will just have to wait and see, how all of this turns out. Now, here was my thing, Diva. Quad had her face splatted on the reunion this season. I mean, you look foolish. Everybody said that King was not as into you as you were into him. Everybody's seen it. You know, the signs were there. I had the same question as Simone. Why would you be wanting to have an individual with somebody that you can't make simple decisions with? Whose house are we going to live in? What are we going to get married? Are we not going to get married? You want to have a child with someone that you are not evenly yoked with in other things in y'all's lives, and then wondering why things didn't work out. In regards to Heavenly saying that this was a storyline for Quad, Heavenly, this is supposed to be your friend. This just goes to show that you don't have no boundaries as far as what you say about your friends, who you heard, who you don't heard. You just say whatever comes to your mind and let it fly out your mouth. It was rude and disrespectful to say, especially considering her IVF journey and how it did not work out in such a positive way. I don't know. But anything.
This package was interesting. I will say this. I do love the way Quad talk. Okay. Cause Quad gonna she know how to use them words, okay, and her dictation and the way she speak. She said she ain't had no gun. She ain't run this brother off with no car. She ain't try to push him over a bridge.
No pow pow to the head.
No pow pow to the head. None of that. I love this man. Y'all can say it was a joke, but I love this man with everything in me. Okay? And I do agree with her on the fact that I don't think it was no storyline with all of that. She spent that money to go to Ghana. She was really taking those infertility shots. Yes. She really wanted to have this baby. But see, you know, I think overall, Royaire, listen, there's people out there, so I don't know if I want to call it karma. I don't know what I want to call it, because there's people out there that they do the most and they always seem like they winning. Mm-hmm. But you know what Nene Lee said is you never win when you play dirty.
And you reap what you sow.
And you reap what you sow. She mocked, joked, and thought it was a whole funny little thing when Sweet Tea was trying to have her baby with her ex. She thought it was a funny joke.
Yeah.
And she was mocking the fact that she was having all this sex with King, knowing towards the end she wouldn't even sleep with Greg. So, yeah, and so do I think she really loved King? She did. But just like she played Greg on that screen, King played her. And King wanted to come to that reunion because he was going to stick the final fork in her. He was going to stick the final fork in her. But she said
she knew that.
And she knew that. And she knew that. And she knew that. And that's why she said no. And that's why she said, y'all speaking to my ex? Now, let me do a side note. The people are dragging her for filth over that wig on the reunion.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. That thing was sitting up like this. Now, y'all know I got a big forehead and all that, but honey, that thing was a hot stinking mess. And that's why I told you when we did the reunion looks that her whole stylist, her team got an F. And it wasn't just me. The people are dragging her, Royaire. Yeah. And we did it lightly. We just told her that your people got an F and so did you. They were dragging her over this wig. They're dragging her for Phil. Okay. They're saying Quad don't got it no more. You lost the man. You came to the reunion looking a hot stinking mess. But I will say, do I think she didn't force King to do nothing? And that's the only part where I'm mad at King. Mm-hmm. Oh, you making me, I did this, I did that. No, sir, but you did it.
Right. You were a part of this. Look, last season, you was having 15 times a week, and y'all was in love, and everything was great.
Yeah. It was a kiki and ha-ha. And you ran up on Greg on the beach.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
It was all good then. Mm-hmm. Was you being forced then, King? Yeah, Quad is performative, but you know what? That's what reality TV is about. And she gave a performance with them words, honey. Mm-hmm. Because she said, Quad don't do storylines. Because she said storylines would stress me out. She said, I'm not on the off season worried about no storyline. She said, what I do is my life. That's what Quad told us, okay? She said, I do my life. And whatever's going on or happening in my life at the time, that's what y'all get. I said, well, you better tell the people, Quad. Okay? When Simone asked her the question that everybody been telling her, Simone came out her cute and sweet because she really wanted to say the same thing Curtis said, but she said it in a different way. Curtis said, why y'all doing this and y'all ain't married? That's pretty much what Simone was saying. Simone, I caught it. I caught it. That's pretty much what Simone was saying, but she said it in a different way. She said, well, why if y'all can't even decide y'all going to live together, where y'all going to live? Why would you do this, that, and the other? Because he's a good father to his daughter he don't live with now. So she said, oh, because he would be a good father. Simone said, okay.
Child.
So, I just, she said the breakup was mutual. They both decided like that was it. Okay. She said she ain't want King at this reunion. But we know why, because it would have had to be 3 parts.
Okay.
But I heard you said they get a check, right? They get a check for every part of the reunion. That's what Belly said. She should have let King come. She would have got some extra money. But she know King would have sat up there and told the truth because King is a queen. Because he got performative at that Med Gala. Why did you show up to the Med Gala where you didn't want to talk to her, you didn't want to hug her, you didn't want to dance with her, you was giving her the stank face?
Look, he had to be like TJ and show up for his last check. He want to make sure that check clear. I don't know. This was a very interesting, for Quad. And I noticed that during this reunion that Quad was trying to play the nice friend, trying to keep everybody nice to each other and making sure people said, good things to one another. I've never experienced that out of Quad. Little English Rose, King and the daughter's mom own the house together. Oh.
Not this was an entanglement.
Look, and she don't know if she's ever going to forgive him and allow her to move back into the house.
Child. That's messy, boots.
That's very messy. But I mean, you chose to be in a relationship with someone that you couldn't even decide whether or not y'all wanted to live together, Diva. I mean, that is the first of, in my opinion, any real relationship that you're really considering being with someone. Like, if y'all can't even decide who gonna move in with who, or if y'all gonna buy a house together, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm not going to have a baby and on purpose bring them into a single parent household. It just, you got to make it make sense. Yeah. And she talked about all her friends that got some beautiful kids and they don't have no daddy.
Now, let me ask you this, Diva. Do you think that the other ladies are wrong to still carry a relationship with King outside of the breakup?
They did it with Dr. G. Apparently, they like to be friends with quad exes. Listen, they all performative and they use people as they need them.
That's true.
Because they was using Dr. G until they wanted to throw him out in the trash. They used him for a whole season or 2 seasons, and then they threw him out in the trash. You know who's the ringleader of the men's group? That Dr. Damon.
Yes.
He's evil.
I seen that tonight.
He's evil.
Yeah, he's definitely the ringleader.
He's the ringleader. And now Curtis is a close behind. He's a close second.
It's a cult.
It's a cult. And let me say this. Emmanuel said this, and I'm connecting with you, Emmanuel. He said that Steve has brought the men to an all-time low.
I agree.
The men have argued, but
Yes.
they never went this low.
No.
Steve is what did Mariah say? You declassing the
You
franchise,
declassing the show.
and him and Mimi are declassing the show. Period.
Yeah.
Steve brought this to an all-time ghetto low.
All because you didn't buy a ticket for a charity event.
$150.
$300.
I ain't even on the show, and I could come up with $150. You could ask 3 friends for $50, and you got.
They don't need to ask 3 friends for nothing. You walking around with all this Louis Vuitton on, and let me say that Cecil, your obsession with Steve and this Louis Vuitton, it's getting overboard, sir. I need you to calm down. Calm down. You too hype about this man and his Louis Vuitton. It's too much. It's way too much. But anyways, we're going to stay on path. So we take a little break after that. We then have Brandy and Angel come out to the couch, the 2 friends of the show, excuse me. Let's see. We have a package with Angel. She's a mom. She's a nurse. She's an actress. And then we have a package with Brandy. She owns medical spa. She has 4 kids, and she is a wife to her husband. Now, I didn't see her husband come in. Did you see her husband come in?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. But listen, he couldn't come to Jamaica either.
I was gonna say he had to stay behind and be the nanny.
But I feel like there was a scene. There's a scene where he is behind us. So maybe he flew in later. You know, he got to fly in 30 minutes. You know, later. I don't know, but I think he is there. But I don't remember him. I don't remember him in that scene with all the men sitting in there. I don't
either. Okay. So we get into Brandy a little bit along with Angel. You know, Andy asked how Brandy's first season was. She said it's been a roller coaster, but in a good way. She's really enjoyed it, you know, and she's a part of the craziness now. So she's here for it. And I agree, Diva. I really enjoyed Brandy so far. I feel like she played a nice little even keel role this season. You know, I'm excited to see what she can bring to us even more. Hopefully, if she gets signed on for season 13.
Listen, Royaire.
Look, and we're gonna say toodaloo to Angel.
Oh my God.
You know, Angel said that she started off her entertainment career at a young age. She was in a bunch of music videos. She was one of the girls. But she understood that in order to have beauty, you have to have brains as well. So she's been working on her multiple degrees and doing her thing with that.
Hold on. She got multiple degrees. The last time somebody bragged about their degrees.
Why you had to do that? Speaking of that, have you heard anything in regards to that? Have we gotten a court date assigned or anything? For Wendy, I know Wendy was trying to go first, trying to have her court date before April, May, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing is scaring me.
Okay.
Yeah.
If anybody's got any updates on that, please let us know. We're still following that. Contessa crashes out in regards to Brandy.
Glad you said she crashes out.
Look, she was like a Street Topics moment. Push.
Oh my God, I cannot with you.
Over Brandy and her party, you know, so they had to go into a discussion about that because Andy had questions, okay? You know, Brandy had a little birthday celebration for her. You know, her husband threw her a birthday celebration for her birthday. It was a birthday dinner. A dinner. Birthday dinner. And so, you know, Brandy said Contessa, has so little to say now, but has so much to say doing her filming and at the dinner and in her confessionals. And, Brandy said, listen, next time speak up a little louder. Let me know how you feeling. Brandy said she did not have a party. She had a birthday dinner. She didn't understand what was the big issue or the confusion about the whole situation. Contessa claims that she didn't say anything out of line or out of pocket. Contessa felt, that she was being misunderstood, and she did not come to have bad intentions. Contessa wanted to, know why the event turned from celebrating Angel to then having to call her husband and thank her husband, for some chicken wings. So, I said, not the chicken wings.
Oh God, she low key shaded her again.
Oh my God. And it made me think about the little lemon pepper wings that was at the Med Gala.
No, she shaded her again. I was here for it. I died.
Yeah, she said it started off because Heavenly was talking about, Brandy's husband throwing this party for her, and Contessa's husband did not throw her party for her, and how Contessa had been complaining about that. Brandy's next time she said, make sure you speaking aloud instead of speaking under your breath. So I said that, my bad. And then Contessa said she didn't understand, why we had to thank her husband. Brandy said that Brandy said that she spent her time at Contessa's party for over an hour while Contessa complained about Scott not doing anything for her birthday, this being her 50th birthday, and her husband has never thrown her a birthday celebration before, and she's having to do everything and put everything together. And Brandy said she was there to support Contessa during that whole time. Contessa said she apologized if Brandy felt that she, came with bad energy or came, to ruin the party. She said that was not her intention. She came to celebrate Brandy. And so Brandy also feels that Contessa also was kind of in her feelings because her birthday dinner was on the same day of Contessa's actual birthday. So she was kind of still in her feelings in regards to her birthday party and all of that. We get a moment with Quad. She wanted to know why Toya asked Bernard how Angel's sex game was in the bed. And Toya said, it was a longer conversation than that. That's just what the cameras clipped because it was spicy enough to make air. So that was that moment. Brandy, I truly enjoyed Brandy. She came in, clocked in and ready. She reminded Contessa that, no, you said some things under your breath that I didn't hear at the party, and make sure you say them out loud next time. She reminded Contessa that you were complaining about your husband, and Contessa was complaining about Scott not doing a party for her, and he's never done anything for her. And in all the years that they've been together, she's just happy that he's showing up, and he wants her to do better. And hopefully maybe at 30 years, he'll be a better Contessa. You complain. You said all of these things all season long, and not just to Brandy. You said it at your own party when we were sitting at the table talking about how great your party was. So this whole thing that you were not jealous, that you weren't upset, stop the lies. It's okay to feel some type of way that somebody else's husband supports their wife and yours doesn't. That's who you chose to marry. Stick with it and leave or move on. Like, what are we doing? I was very confused with all of that. I was very confused.
Well, I saw through the whole thing.
Okay.
And I wasn't confused. Like Dr. Heavenly actually admitted, she said, Brandy, we was talking about Contessa. Did y'all catch that? She did admit that. Okay. Brandy tried to act like she wasn't talking about Contessa at her party. And Heavenly was like, no, we did. And we was, right? So, and Brandy was being extra. If my husband, Royaire, is paying the bill for our dinner, I'm not going to call my husband on the phone, FaceTime with the kids, and everybody say thank you to my hubby. When I get home, I'm going to tell my boo, they said thank you, and I thank you too, babe. Listen, I had people pay for stuff, and all of that, and we didn't have to FaceTime the people to say thank you. So you was being extra because you wanted to make everybody aware and really Contessa that her husband didn't pay for her help with her party, but your man paid for this dinner, okay? She started this. She might have been the instigator, but you know what? As a grown person, I know how to shut people down. People call me on a regular and try to say, oh no, this, that. And when they start talking about somebody, I'll be like, I ain't doing that. I disengage. I'm a whole grown person. I'm 56. I'm not going to be on my phone talking about nobody. I know how to disengage. So even if Dr. Heavenly was the instigator, Brandy could have said, I ain't doing that. This is my birthday. I just want to have fun. And remember, clock this. Remember, they talked about it later, how the food was nasty at that dinner and how the dinner was in a strip mall. So if Brandy really wanted to clock and talk about this thing, she need to talk about everybody because it wasn't just Contessa. I want to say Dr. Heavenly said afterwards that they all was talking about how the food was nasty and that the dinner was in the strip mall. So if we're going to do this and have this conversation, we got to keep it 100. So when she was sitting there, she kept saying, but I like the way Contessa handled. She said, go ahead, you speak. And when you're done, I'll speak. And Brandy was like, and next time, don't say it under your breath and this, that, and the other. And that's what she said. That's how you see, this how you get the people. She said, yeah, I didn't know I had to thank. She said, well, Andy, I didn't know that I had to thank her husband for some chicken wings. And then Brandy almost lost it on the end of the couch. Talking about, girl, we was talking about your husband. Girl, if you want to come, Contessa told Brandy not to settle for a husband like that in the prior scene. She was showing her she was listening to her.
And she did. That's why I'm so confused. Like, from what I remember about the episode, I do not remember Brandy really engaging in the conversation because it was Toya, Brandy, and Heavenly. I do not recall Brandy engaging in the conversation like that. And I could be wrong, but Diva, I watched an episode and I watched it well.
I need you to watch that again.
But we got to go back and watch the replay.
I don't watch it. I'm telling you what happened. And also,
I thought her husband called them. I didn't think she called her husband. Okay.
And the kids was in the background FaceTime. And
I do remember all it, yeah.
And thanking the husband like that. It was over the top. And she must have said more than once that her husband paid for the dinner. Okay. See, Fifi, you covered up your story. But yeah, so I think if anything, the ownership goes on both sides.
Okay.
It goes on both sides. Contessa ain't absolved of it, but Nina is Brandy. And Brandy was doing the most with the thanking her husband. And and she said more than once too that he paid for this dinner for her, had this dinner for her, and all this other. The FaceTime call, it was team too much. Listen, plenty of people I dated and I wasn't there and they sent me the money to pay for the dinner for me and the girls and sent me with the money and all that. And I wasn't like 10 times, y'all got to come and say thank you to my man.
He wasn't your husband, though.
I want to
you thank him.
No, I ain't doing all that.
Say thank you to my husband, Diva.
For some chicken wings? She was like, for some chicken wings?
Oh my
God. I gagged. And Brandy was sick to her stomach. Yes.
Yeah. Brandy still did her thing. She came through. She did more than what Angel did. Angel didn't do anything this season. And I was hoping that Angel would come through and show us a little something on the reunion. She did nothing for me. Nothing.
Well, the only scene she had, and it was thank God that Toya asked this man crazy questions. The only storyline she had was the fact that what's the name? Toya was trying to hook up with this man, and that went left. That was her only storyline. Because unfortunately she did have the scrubs, but what's the name? Dr. Jackie snatched that from her. Private person. Listen, I don't, you know what? No. I could give.
That's not true. Yeah, Diva she been riding for Brandy all season long. So I could stand on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't got nothing against Brandy. See, you know what the thing is, y'all, when I give my recaps, I keep it 100 for what I see. And I got my glasses on. I'm gonna call it for what it is. And I could like you, but if you go left, then I gotta go left and tell the truth about what you did. Brandy did too much with that dinner in the strip mall with the chicken wings. She did too much. Wait, I forgot because I don't talk so much. Did you talk about Angel?
I mean, I just talked about her, no, not really. Anything you want to say. I didn't really say much of it. I don't remember her really saying anything of importance that I took a note on.
Angel and this stupid, like the audience member said, how you a whole nurse and didn't know lidocaine was going to numb your throat like that? Angel look made her look older. When we saw that wavy hair, like it didn't.
I wonder if her and Quad had the same team. Didn't they have similar team or something like that?
Somebody did, but I don't remember who, Royaire.
Okay. I have to go back.
Who. We gotta go back. Yeah, but somebody definitely did have the same stylist. Listen, what do you want me to say about Angel? We like the people like to give the people 2 seasons. So I mean, if the people are given 2 seasons, then I guess Angel got to come back in our life. But Angel's gonna have to figure something out, because what she did was she played, what was that guy name?
Bernard.
She played Bernard out. We need a Bernard and King on that reunion.
That is true. That's true.
You know what, Andy? Forget about if the person says that they don't wanna. You gotta do reality TV. You gotta do like they used to do on Maury Povich in Jerry Springer. We got a special guest, and then you call Bernard and King out to the stage.
Jerry.
Bring out Bernard. Bring out Bernard. Bring out King. Bring out King. That's what we need. Stop playing.
I'm so dead. Come on, bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie out.
Don't be playing us out. Give us a show.
Listen, Katrina says she already gave us an opportunity on Basketball Wives, and she did not do well. So this is her second opportunity, and she's still not doing well. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really have any notes on Angel because I just did not. I mean, nothing really happened to Angel this season that was really major. You dragged Bernard in on the last episode for him to come. Y'all didn't share a room. Y'all really didn't have no conversation. You even said that you would have felt better if he didn't show up. Like, what was the purpose of inviting him if you already had these feelings about him? I don't know. People say she was on mute, and she was.
Yeah, she used them because it was a couples trip, and she ain't a couple. So she should have stayed home.
No, she should have went home early with Brandy and her husband.
She should have flew back with them.
Yes. Got a buddy pass and went on about her buddy way.
Oh my God, I cannot.
Okay, next up, we got a ways to go, so let's go ahead and move on. Next up, we have Dr. Mimi's package, and so we talked about we seen her son, who has autism, and then she talked about needing her husband and pretty much just judging the group. That's what I took from her package. I was trying to find things to talk about, but she didn't really have much in her package outside of her son. And I think that was what was so bothersome to me about Mimi and her husband is y'all talked about nothing else other than your son. Yes, this is Married to Medicine, but this autism, this is not me and I have an autistic child. Like, no, this is supposed to be about you and your husband being married to medicine. And I did not see anything in regards to y'all's relationship. I didn't see anything, y'all supposed to be building this house. We didn't see that until the end of the season. And they have moved into the house, Diva. I did see that on their Instagram page. Beautiful home. It's a beautiful home. They did a really good job. Beautiful, beautiful home. So I did see that they moved into their house, but those were things that we could have seen y'all talk more about this season. But y'all focused so much on little Stevie and partially Savannah. We don't know anything about Stevie or Mimi, and that is who I came to get to know, not y'all's children, Stevie and Mimi. And as Toya said, we still don't know you. Who are you? What have you done outside of judging the group for everything that they've done? Let me get into this real quick because this is short and sweet and to the point. Mimi felt that her package was hard to watch because sometimes being a parent of a special need child, it feels like you're not always meeting the goals. You're always having to fight for your child, defend your child, and be there for your child. You really don't get a break. Mimi says she's not a psychoanalyst, and she doesn't like psychoanalyzing the group. That's just who she is. And so that's kind of why things work out the way they do. She said you have to remember that the environment that you're in, Quad said you have to remember the environment that you're in. You're hanging out with your homegirls. We don't want to be judged by a doctor. If we wanted to be judged or seen by a doctor, I would go see Dr. Jackie like I do. So be mindful and conscious of the group that you're around. Mimi said that she does not like the bickering back and forth and she's not into confrontation. She wants to have constructive conversation in the group with the ladies. Toya said that's very convenient for you to say, but when you address Brandy in regards to the whole Heavenly event and telling her not to trust me, you didn't have a problem with that confrontation there. I said, oh, Toya, you better clock that T, okay? Because she sure didn't. She walked right up on Brandy and said, you need to be careful who you align yourself with, because Toya was just talking about Heavenly. Girl, nobody asked you to come up and say what anybody was saying to anybody. You are newbie to the group, just like Brandy is. So what are you talking about? We're still trying to get to know you. Heavenly then jumped into the conversation to defend Mimi. And this is what I find so interesting, how Heavenly is always ready to jump and ride Mimi's back, but she just got into the show. So because she helped you out with your son and his medical emergency, allegedly, all of a sudden now Mimi is Captain Save a Hole and you got to jump in and fight her battles. Heavenly, go sit down over there. And figure out your son's issues, okay? You worry about that. Let Mimi fight her own battles. Mimi says she never intended to disrespect Toya in any way, nor disrespect her home. She was just trying to help Toya talk to Eugene, and she felt, Toya was defensive when she, came back at her in regards to what she had to say. Mimi, apologized to Brandy for her delivery in regards to the conversation, and how she needs to watch out for Toya. Mimi has received so much love and support from the viewers, thanking her for showing her life as a mom with an autistic kid. I call BS on Mimi helping Heavenly's son. I
did too.
I did address that once we get to that part.
Yeah. Okay.
And then since Toya has seen Mimi's full story, Toya really believes that Mimi is a great mom. She commends her for standing up and supporting and doing the work, and she's an amazing parent. Toya doesn't believe their path is closed down. She believes that they have an open path to still get to know one another. So that was that on Mimi Anything you want to say?
Child, I was really sick of Mimi and her package. I feel like Mimi is going to use the fact that her son is autistic to get out of everything.
Everything.
And she's always looking for praise and all of that. Girl, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm black, I'm smart. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay. And but I commend Toya for telling Mimi, like, you are a good mother. And when I saw your story, I was like, that was nice of Toya. But I really feel like Mimi was just she's using that now as a scapegoat and an excuse for to back down off of her and her nonsense. You're totally out of line and out of control. And I'm going to say that because I'm separating the fact that your son is autistic from your behavior. So you ain't going to catch me with the nonsense. Yes, having a special needs child is a lot of work, but I'm going to separate it because you're messy. The fact that she's going to say, because Toya did clock that. You saw all of this and in the therapy, but yet you say you don't know me, but you told this chick to be aware of me. Oh, I apologize to her. I'm talking. No, you talked and you finished. And then when I clocked you, you wanted to jump back in. Yeah. We're going to get to that because I do believe it is BS. So, Mimi sitting there and getting all emotional and she's sorry when she with the girls. You a whole therapist and you don't know how to turn it on and turn it off. I do it, when I was working like that, every day, I know how to go in the building, be that person at work. And when I left, I turned it off and I started to live my regular life. I wasn't being all bossy with my friends after work. Like, that's crazy work. So, Mimi, the fact that she's just teamed too much. That's all I can say to you. And I think she's full of it. Yeah. And like I said, the only thing that's good about them is that they're actually married, but I don't like them as an addition on the show. I think they too much. I really do. I'm not here for them at all. What else?
I think they're too much too. And then she said somewhere in this reunion, I want to say it was during her package, that she doesn't like being in a group of ladies that bicker and fuss and fight and go back and forth. Why are you here?
First of all, that was a lie, Royaire, because you started it when you walked up to Brandy and told Brandy not to align herself with somebody that's talking about somebody. So you do like confrontation. Mm-hmm. You do like the mess. You are full of crap. And you trying to do the okie doke in the spin on us. Yeah, they're desperate to be on the show, especially now that they bought that house. You trying to do the spin on us and you think we stupid. But guess what, Mimi? I might be the only one, but I see you. And I ain't here for you. I can understand, Mimi, my godson is autistic and it's a lot and it could really be education. She's not educating nobody, no. Mm-mm. So here it is. This is real talk. This is my life. This is not me being phony. I'm a whole pediatric nurse. And if y'all knew my whole government name, or you got to look it up because it's public information in the New Jersey registry, and Diva will come up with an active license. So there are people that have autistic kids on different levels. She's showing us nothing, and I'm being as respectful as I can because her kid is about 7 to 8, and she a whole therapist, and she act like she just now found out about therapy. She a day late and $1 short. Her son was born in a time period where they know about therapy, and right away they tell you to put that kid in speech therapy, occupational therapy, and all kind of other stuff. And
he's born in a time period where they could have told him that he was gonna have issues, even
you know what, Royaire? See, shut the lie down. Shut the lie down, because you just said that. You just said that. Shut the lie down in utero.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. My son he's going to be 21 in July. They thought my son had some issues from some preliminary tests that they took because I was a geriatric pregnancy. So you are right, Royaire. Thank you for bringing me back. So she's full of crap, and I'm just like, she's not educating anybody.
Yeah.
And listen, My son also was early on, he was in speech therapy because he was like 2, 3, he wasn't really talking that much. But the doctor ended up telling us, they said, because you're doing too much for him. Because, you know, I was an older mother. It was my only child. He was the first child. He was the first child, grandbaby on his father's side. No, honey, we was waking up doing everything for him. He was the little king in the house. He ain't had to do nothing. He just pointed, what you want? You want chips? You want this? You want that? Like, she got to stop. If you want to educate, I'd rather she keep it 100% with the education.
Yes. I mean, we didn't see no speech therapy classes. We didn't see them working with Stevie on a personal level. You know, all we seen was Stevie fighting his sister in the back seat. Right. Stevie, he's a problem child. I can't bring him to the play date. We can't have him here. We can't have him there. I mean, in my opinion, there were more complaints about Stevie than there was, you know, showing us how they are helping Stevie. Diva in a World of Angel, Real Housewives of Potomac, you're being very... Oh my God. Listen, I just, yeah. I want to get to know Mimi and Stevie. I do not want to get to know little Stevie, who, you know...
You know what, though, Royaire? We love the kids. It's not a problem to know him. It's the problem is she's making this the only thing about her life. Mm-hmm. And that is what the problem is. And she's using it to lighten up the heat on her by saying every time the smoke come her way, she want to try to act like, oh, because I'm a therapist. Oh, because I'm dealing with this. Oh, because I'm dealing with that. Stop. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stevie fighting his sister, dropping spaghetti on the dinner table.
Yeah.
Listen, I wanted to get to know Stevie and Mimi. That's my whole thing.
Yep. And remember, at the family reunion, and I think she played it up more. Because remember, I told you, I pointed out at the family reunion, he was over there playing at the little toy thing and seeming fine. Mm-hmm. So I think she played it up. I'm just... Yeah. I ain't really... Yeah, she's playing the sympathy role. Yes, Monique. I ain't feeling her.
Yeah, we good on Mimi. We good on Mimi.
Yeah.
We good on you, boo. So, the ladies get a little break, and so we have the men coming in now, okay? Well, this is where the show really gets started. This is where the show really gets started. We have Cecil, Eugene, and Scott showing up together, okay? Mm-hmm. We then see Damon and Steve coming in together. And so Steve says, listen, I've been chased down by 250-pound men, linebackers. I can handle this. Congratulations, sir. You've been knocked upside the head by a couple of big guys. Whoop-de-doo. Eugene has handled surgeries, okay, that has saved people's lives. Now, that's something to brag about, okay? You know, Diva, I'm sick of Curtis.
Child, stick your fork at me. I'm done.
Done. Okay?
Done.
Curtis noticed that Steve was a little, you know, I'll say anxious in regards to the beginning of this reunion. Come on, Miss Steve, she got it. Hilarious. Okay, Miss Steve. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what is she saying here? Why Mimi and Steve? Thank you for the super chat. Well, why Mimi and Steve go home with Brandy and Shamar?
Why did you go home with Brandy and Shamar? Because remember, Brandy and Shamar were going home because their children were starting school. If you were concerned about Stevie and him doing better, why weren't you there for his first day of school? Great question, Miss Steve.
Yeah, instead of telling them on the phone to have a good day. Come on, you shut it down. I got what you're saying now. Hello. You should have been home with your young kids too.
Yes, come on.
Mm-hmm. And remember, they didn't say nothing to Stevie on the FaceTime. It was just Savannah.
You're smart. You're beautiful. You're kind. Girl.
They said not Miss Stevie.
That was good. Whoever said that, that was funny.
Hilarious.
Okay. He has arrived. Okay, so Curtis noticed that Steve was a little anxious and a little, upbeat with energy. And so Damon says he understands, the tension, the energy is high, and he does not want the guys to be arguing. He knows the tension, the energy is high. He don't want the guys to be arguing. Stevie feels there needs to be accountability, in regard that needs to be taken in regards on some of the men's side, specifically, speaking to Eugene. Cecil feels that Stevie didn't, know about the ticket, and he's not trying to blame anybody. But if that is true, then we need to do better as a group with communication. And so this is where I was like with Cecil. Now, Cecil, you've been on here with season 1 since Eugene. I need you to pick a side and stay on it, sir. It's giving Dr. Jackie. You want to play both sides of the fence. No. You knew about the price. Curtis knew about the price. Damon knew about the price. Shamar knew about the price. King knew about the price. Steve was the only one that didn't get the memo. Nobody thought that they needed to share that with Steve outside of Toya and Eugene and all of the rest of y'all was going. But we have to recall back, Diva, back when we was in Jamaica, Steve said that we was done. We good. We don't want nothing to do with this.
I got my own charity. I got my own charity. And Curtis shushed them off. He said, because my wife was excluded, so I gotta speak to my wife. Well, somebody should have spoke to you. Y'all should have spoke to each other, and y'all should have called somebody and found out that the tickets was $150.
Boom. How you doing? So Eugene feels that, he tried to include the people, but they got a lot of pushback. And so they decided to move forward with the event for those who were there, and those who weren't, oh well. Steve disagreed, and he feels that Eugene and Toya tried to screw him and Mimi on purpose when it came to getting into the event because they, never heard that they had to buy a ticket. Eugene feels if you said in Jamaica that you was out of it and done, then why did you even show up? And so then all of a sudden, Stevie's about because it's charity. It's the Med Gala. That's what we do. Well, if that was the case, sir, where was your $300? Coming in and talking about, we're with Dr. Jackie Walters. No, this is for charity. And y'all was the main ones talking about, well, we could have came in here and spent more than a little $300. Well, where is it? Eugene couldn't believe that Stevie was justifying bad behavior. Steve said that he feels that Eugene justifies bad behavior from Toya all the time and every day. Steve and Eugene kind of went back and forth with each other. Steve asked Eugene, does he want to be one of the girls? And so Eugene said, Steve, do you want to be one of the girls? And it was just it was just crazy. It was just insane the way that Stevie came in with his bad energy, with his bad comments towards Eugene. You still feeling some type of way. I believe Andy said during the filming, Diva, that the Med Gala happened 6 months ago. So you still carrying something from 6 months ago into this reunion because you felt quote unquote embarrassed because you had to pay $300 and didn't know nothing about it. What you embarrassed about? If anything, you should be able to pull out the $300, walk into the building with nothing to say, and purchase a piece of art like you said you were going to do. But I didn't see that.
You know why he was embarrassed, Royaire? Because when it actually played out on the screen, he felt like he got punked at the Met Gala. When he saw himself standing there, you don't know in real time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When they filming it, because they forget the cameras are there. They just being themselves. Mm-hmm. And when they came up there and he saw it on the big screen, when him and Mimi was watching in real time, he said, we got punked. And that's why he came to the reunion hyped. He was hyped. He wasn't sitting on the couch. He was sitting on the edge of the couch. He had them sunglasses on, and he was just a shaking. He was waiting to say something to Eugene. And you don't talk about the ladies. He put Toya's name in his mouth.
And gonna ask somebody else, do they want to be a lady? Do you want to be one of the ladies?
That part. Miss Stevie. What did Nene say about Peter?
Oh my God. Stop being in the women's business, okay?
Nah, I thought his energy was off. And Curtis was sitting there being a whole punk too. And because Curtis is mad about what Toya said, but you should have never pulled nobody else's wife in your lap. That's on you, bro.
That's on you.
You should have never been at the airport with somebody else. That's on you, bro. Now, was she wrong to bring it up on the Watch What Happens Live? She was, but you know what though? This is the crossfires of being on a reality TV show.
Well, and we had to put Curtis back in remembrance because I guess Curtis forgot and thought that he can judge other people's relationships and be God of the earth. Sir,
what?
Sit down.
You have a whole infidelity situation, and now you know about the Bible and how relationships should go. Now you know I ain't got nothing for Mimi, but I think I'll speak to Mimi first, sir.
See.
Yeah, I thought his energy I didn't like. I didn't like the way he was talking to Eugene, and I felt like he could talk to Eugene like that because he's bigger and taller than Eugene. He is bringing bad vibes to Married to Medicine, and I don't like it. They could find another way to pay for that house because I don't like him.
Yeah,
I got nothing for him and Mimi. It's going to take a miracle for anything to do up on that TV for me to spin the pendulum around and like them.
We need a lemon squeeze for the men.
We do. That was deplorable.
Yeah.
Deplorable.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in calling him Toya Miss Bush or Toya Bush, whatever he said to him? I don't know. I don't like Steve. I thought that was horrible. And you can see when they show us the clip for next week, he got more of that energy. He got more of that energy. I don't.
Over $300.
That part. You that press? But you living in the Louis Vuitton store where you can't get nothing with no clothing or nothing like that for under $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Yeah, Miss Bush. I thought that was nasty work. It
was so nasty and so rude.
So rude.
Steve, you a low down, dirty individual.
Low down, dirty individual.
So yes, we'll deal with more of the men next week in part 2 because they will be coming out. Coming up next, we had Heavenly's package. We had Heavenly running for state representative, fighting with the ladies, and talking about her son being arrested a little bit. So Andy had a little game for the ladies to play with Heavenly. And Diva, I'll ask you the questions. We can play along with the audience as well. So feel free to answer the questions if y'all would like. Can Heavenly pass a background check?
Yes.
Okay.
Like she said, she's professional. You got to have a license.
Right. Correct.
You got to get fingerprinted. Yeah.
Yes. Can the ladies trust Heavenly with the nuclear codes?
No.
I wouldn't either. Does Heavenly need a stylist?
Yes.
And so she did say that she's working with Jackie to get a stylist, but Jackie needs to come down with the prices because the clothes is too high. And then Heavenly's campaign success is going to be more successful than her beauty shop. I said no.
Yeah, that's neutral, right? Because the beauty shop wasn't successful.
Yeah. So that was the little game that the people play with Heavenly. And does Heavenly tell the truth about her life? That would be a no.
That's a no.
That would be a no. And so I see y'all answer some questions as well. So thank you for your participation. Heavenly gives an update on her son. Heavenly says that he had a mental health emergency. She called Mimi for help to get through it because they didn't know who else to call, who else to turn to. And they know where he is. They just have not seen him. She says she's not going to go into what happened because that's his story to tell, blah, 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 blah. Here's my issue with this, Diva. Now, if I recall, Heavenly's son got arrested a couple years ago. It's been about, 2-3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Mimi was not on the show. She just got on the show last year. How is you going to call Mimi for mental health? I was confused. I was scratching my head like, Heavenly, you really think we this dumb? You really think we... Okay. So that was that. Heavenly admitted that Heavenly admitted that her and Damon do not talk about everything. There are just certain things that he or she cannot handle when it comes to talking about certain things. And Heavenly, you've been saying for 12 years, 14, 15 years, however long, that your marriage is perfect. Y'all don't have no issues. Y'all don't have no problems. But y'all can communicate with one another about important things like your son being arrested. Okay. Simone said that she does not wake up, deciding, to put her family on blast. Her stories are truthful, authentic, and in the moment. Heavenly said, there's a difference in between, how her husband treats her, that her husband treats her well and he treats her good. And Simone said, Cecil treats me well and he treats me good as well. My husband married me because he wanted to, not because we had a baby on the way. And Damon even tells us this season that he was hesitant on marrying Heavenly because he went out down somewhere and said to God, if this is your will, let me know. Tell me what to do. And I'll marry this woman if that's the case.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Not because he wanted to. Not because that's what he desired to do.
He asked for divine intervention. Not, dear God, I love her. Bless this union. She having my baby. He said, God, it's up to you.
Should I do this? Is this the path you want me to take? And we should all consult God. Let me clear that up because we should all consult God with our decisions.
Yeah, but he said he didn't get an answer, so he figured that was the answer.
When asked, when asked who would vote for Heavenly, everyone said yes except for Toya, Brandy, and Simone. Okay. Jackie is stuck in the middle between Heavenly and Simone. Simone wasn't concerned about the support. Sorry. Okay. Simone wasn't concerned about Jackie supporting her when it comes to this whole situation with Heavenly versus Simone. She wants Jackie to stand on the difference between right and wrong. And Simone feels that Jackie has kind of been on the fence in regards to this situation, especially when the footage from Watch What Happens Live came out and she ran with the narrative that she did not know what happened. She wasn't there. When Andy asked her, when you seen the uncut footage, she tried to say, well, I don't think they meant harm towards each other. It was just a mutual misunderstanding. No. Simone wanted you to stand on business. You know that she's a doctor. You know that if something really happens out of this, that she would have to go to the medical board. She would have to answer to the hospital board, all of these people, and the possibility of losing her license, her livelihood, the very thing that we on this show support, Black female doctors in the hospital and being a part of the community. It was ridiculousness. After, Andy asked Jackie, that question, Simone, in regards to Simone being violent or threatening, Jackie said, no, Simone is not violent or a threat to anybody. So Andy wanted to know, well, if you felt that way and so did Simone, why did you not express that on Watch What Happens Live that night? And so then Jackie wanted to get up and come over there to Simone and sit next to her. Listen, if there was anything, I want you to tell me what I did wrong so that I can fix it, because I want to fix this. It's not about the other ladies. It's just about us. This is a 30-year friendship and we don't want to lose this over nothing. Girl, bye. Talk to the hand, okay? Because where was this 30-year friendship when you sat up and watched What Happens Live and you defended Heavenly when she said that she pushed me or put her hands on me? Where was the 30-year friendship then, Jackie? Where was the friendship when I was there for you when you couldn't have children and I was up on the phone crying with you? Where was the friendship when I was up on the phone crying with you when Curtis cheated on you? Where was the friendship when Curtis didn't want you to adopt a child so that y'all couldn't have children? Where was the 30-ship friendship then?
You ain't have to do that to Jackie.
Jackie.
You ain't have to do that to Jackie, but you ain't never lie.
Yeah.
No lies detected.
Mm-mm.
When he didn't want to have no baby with you and told you enough is enough, we ain't gonna adopt nothing, I was here for you.
Mm.
When he got caught at the airport and it was all blasted on the blogs and everything, I was here for you. And listen, Royaire, not for nothing, the people done reminded me, I forgot, that when I think it was Dr. Heavenly, remember when she got in, when Dr. Jackie got in trouble for talking about she that screen when she talked about the black woman and all of that, they all stood behind Dr. Jackie.
They stood by her, and
that was on Heavenly's channel.
And they stood by her when she was talking about Buffy's infertility treatment.
That part. And they stood by her yet again when she talked about Brandy and her thyroid.
So I don't want to hear nothing about no 30-year friendship and we've been good and all of this BS. Stop. Talk to the hand, Jackie. Talk to the hand.
This shit right here said, when Jackie's reputation as a physician was called into question, rightfully so, due to comments made on Heavenly's YouTube channel, the entire cast made statements in support of her. Jackie had a chance to stand up for a friend and fellow medical practitioner, and she failed her. Jackie, you get an F.
F.
You get an F. Then you want to come over there and slither next to her. But you know what, though? Simone stood on business.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, he asked you. He said, he asked you. Now, let me back up for 1.2 seconds to Dr. Heavenly. Mm-hmm. She told so many lies that she told on herself and got caught in, as far as I'm concerned, in that little segment.
Yeah.
I called my dear friend Mimi, and Mimi sitting there. Mimi, you know she didn't call you. She said she called Mimi, but then she said her husband saved the son because he worked in the emergency room, and the people in the emergency room called the husband, and they got him all kind of help because of the husband connections. And then Dr. Damon back there talking about, yes, mental health is real. I was like, see, the lies they tell.
Yeah.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we got kids and they go through it. It's his story.
They make bad decisions.
Yeah. It's his story to tell. I ain't going to tell it. But since that piece is out there, I'm just going to say, you know, I sent my kids to private school. I did everything. This ain't about the private school, Dr. Heavenly. And let's be clear. Dr. Heavenly out of her own mouth, go back season. She said her and daddy talk about everything. Now all of a sudden, her and daddy, they don't talk about it. When they know it's something that's going to hurt daddy, I don't say nothing. And when daddy knows something,
communication all of a sudden.
Yeah, we block communication all of a sudden. But y'all told daddy, you and daddy speak about everything. Nothing is hidden from daddy. You would never. And now your son gets a whole handcuffs and the po-po got him and your daddy didn't tell you.
And now he got mental health issues all of a sudden.
That part. And Dr. Mimi helped. Okay, girl.
It was a crock-a-bull.
It was a crock-a-bull,
just like Jackie's apology is a crock-a-bull. You know you was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to you and I was going based off the conversation we had in the back. No, Andy asked you. You seen the footage. Did she hit her? Did she put her hands on her? Did she push her? Well, I think it's a misunderstanding between the... Shut up, Jackie. Shut up.
Well, to be honest, I was humping the fence because I was trying to be a good friend of both of them, but you disrespected your friend of 30 years.
Mm.
And let me say this. When Simone said that the girl was effing delusional and she need a therapist and that's why she sit next to Dr. Mimi, I said, yo, Simone, she clocked in.
Clocked in, okay.
Simone clocked in. I said, good gosh. She clocked in. Simone wasn't playing. And you know what, though? I believe, Katrina, there's some truth to the rumors. But let me say this. Royaire said that Dr. Heavenly was going to declass the show. And she has managed to be a wedge. And when Dr. Jackie went over to Simone, and before she went over to her, when Simone was talking to Dr. Jackie, and she said, "You're the one that always can calm me down." And here go Heavenly. Oh yeah, you could calm Heavenly. This ain't about you. Shut up.
Yes, I felt the same thing. Same thing. You can't even let two friends who've been together for 30 years and you know the wedge that's coming in between them. You are the wedge. You are the wedge. And you know you the wedge. You know
yep.
it. You know
yep. It. And when Andy said that, Andy mad about this friendship not being good.
He is.
He said the wedge is Dr. Heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I don't want to be the wedge. No, he told it. I said, no, because listen, when Andy is going to the dressing rooms, and I know he pops in and talks to everybody, but when he's going to the dressing rooms and he's saying, I don't like that you in here by yourself. I love you together. You know, Andy liked the kiki and the ha-ha.
Mm-hmm. He got in his feelings. His feelings was hurt, okay?
His feelings was hurt. He said, no, we got to fix this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he straight up told Jackie, you was wrong. You had an opportunity.
And he did. And I was here for it. I said, you better read, Jackie. Yes.
He said, no,
So yes, at the end of that episode, we had Jackie and Simone sitting in each other's face. And Jackie says she wants to work this out, you know. And Simone let her know, Jackie, there is no working out. We are done. Signed, sealed, and delivered. And ain't no going back. And what else did she say? You can mark my word on that.
Not my word, not my bond.
Her word is her bond, okay? She like Iyanla. She said, I have boundaries. And you will not get to disrespect me again. Well, that was our recap of part 1 reunion.
Ciao.
Any final thoughts, Diva, as we close out our part 1 reunion recap? This was a really good episode. Truly enjoyed it.
And listen, y'all, we sorry we had to hold y'all up so long, but it was an excellent
episode. Yes, it is 2 hours. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But no, it was an excellent episode. We had to delve into this, right? Yeah, the door is closed. Y'all better tell it in that chat.
Yes.
The door is closed.
Yes.
She said it's not going to happen, Dr.
Look,
Jackie.
you got to do like Nene, Diva.
No, listen, let me tell you something, Royaire. When you sit there, she said, well, you're delusional. If you saw that footage and you still want to align with her mess, I got to question your character.
Yeah.
I give this reunion a 10.
A 10. You hear me? 10s across the board. It was everything. It was everything and then some. What was said needed to be said. What happened needed to happen. I mean, it was a great reunion across the board. I truly enjoyed it. The recap was even better. I mean, we really got to break down some real things that was touched on in the reunion as well. This was great. So listen, at the end of every episode, we'd like to get your thoughts and opinion on the recap, or excuse me, on the reunion. Please let us know on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what your thoughts are on this reunion part 1. As y'all are doing that, I'll go ahead and get our closing out of the way. Listen, we were live on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva and Royaire's World. Here is Diva's channel from my channel, in my chat. If you're over in my chat and you have not went over to Diva's channel to subscribe, please hit that right there and go and subscribe to Diva's channel. And then if you're on Diva's channel, here is my link for my channel. Come on over and hit the like button and subscribe over here as well. Make sure you join Diva tonight for trending topics. She will be going live having some trending topics for this evening, so make sure you join her over there. We will be back next Sunday for part 2 of the reunion. We are in part 2 coming up next week, so make sure you stay tuned with us for that. And the men are coming out. The ladies have more to talk about. It's going to be very interesting, so make sure you stay in with that. Before we get out of here, let's see what the people had to say. Hey, Miss Juanita. Juanita is giving it a 10. Maria is giving it a 10. Mo Walker is giving it a 10. Katira is giving it a 10. Katrina is giving it a 10. Monique is giving it a 10. Pink is giving it a 10. Doreen is giving it a 10. Little English is giving it a 10. Lorraine said a 10. Miss Faye said a 10. Linda said a 10. Y'all better come through with the 10s tonight. Nisha said a 10. I am 50 Gold said it was a 10. Ocean, a 9 because King and Bernard did not get their side. Okay. Paula is giving it a 10. Private Person is giving it a 10. Miss Love is getting it a 10. Miss Special is giving it a 10.
Pocahontas is giving it a 10.
Pocahontas is giving it a 10. All righty. Well, listen, 10s across the board. This was a great reunion. We totally enjoyed recapping with y'all. Diva, when I tell you I've been having a hot flash like this whole episode, I don't know what's happening, but like I'm over here burning up. But it has been a great
that gumbo.
And on that note, I'm going to get off of here before Beyonce start messing with my good internet again. So make sure y'all hit the like button on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. Make sure you subscribe to Royaire's World and both of our channels. Make sure you turn your notification bells on all, and we will see you guys again for part 2 of Married to Medicine reunion. Have a good night, and we will see y'all later. Hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Royaire's World.